Hi guys, I'm Sam.
And I'm Nate.
And this is our garage, and this is Nathan's engine. And we are going to start getting it
More simple.
more assembled, not finished because, well, none of the car's finished, but we want to get it at least running, make sure everything else is good before we sign off on anything. We're gonna get everything mocked up, we'll get it put into the car, that way we can start it and use the transmission as basically as an engine stand. Now that it's a Baja, that makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, because it can just slide on in.
We can slide it in, slide it out, no big deal. So that being the case, we're going to take this long block, put in some spark plugs, and put on some cylinder shrouds, and we'll put some new oil cooler seals in our oil cooler. We'll put that in, put in our generator stand, oil filler, fuel pump flange. We'll just start mocking things up. Heck, we even got a new exhaust to put on. Maybe we'll do that too.
Here.
Well, I say new exhaust. It's actually a discontinued exhaust, but it's new to us. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to work. First things first.
Spark plugs?
Paper towels, paper towels.
Yeah.
These are steel, those are aluminum. Anytime you're going aluminum to steel,
What's that?
this is anti-seize.
Should I pull
Anti-seize
up
thread
the-
lubricant.
Intake things now?
No, not unless you want to drop something in the intake.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll leave those in. Grab your spark plugs, give them just a light coat. .22 foot-pounds. That is our torque specs for our spark plug.
I mean, that is another thing that I don't typically do is torque down my spark plugs. I just tighten them until they're tight.
Well, it is good practice to use a torque wrench.
For when I'm building engines in the future.
We've got some cylinder shrouds, which have been
For my
trimmed.
engine.
We don't have to have all the extra stuffs and things and whatnots. Shoot,
Next.
let's take that one off because I got ahead of myself. We got to put the oil cooler on.
Take off the tape.
Nope.
Yeah.
Let's replace our seals first.
Oh, yeah.
Not do this over the engine.
Here. So something in here.
We're gonna make sure to keep our Hoover bit. We gotta get some new oil cooler seals.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
We have flushed this thing multiple times.
Just two, huh?
Yeah. There's two more going to go in the case, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
See what the 6mm studs torque spec is.
The oil cooler nut,
Yeah.
it says 5.
5 foot-pounds?
5 and then M6.
Yeah, 5 for M6. Yep, that sounds right. There we go.
There.
Lower. Now these are 14 foot-pounds. We need 2 more oil cooler seals. And then we got some new hardware. Oh, and then guess what? What we forgot? We forgot to put the Hoover bit in.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to put the Hoover bit in. That's my blame. I'm going to take the blame on that one. So why don't you grab washer, nut, washer, nut of our new hardware
The big
side.
ones?
Yep. Those are going to be 14 foot-pounds, but first things first, I'm going to pull these off and put them back on properly with our Hoover bit.
That's good.
All right.
Getting tight. Getting tight.
We have the original phenolic Volkswagen fuel pump spacer, and even though Nathan's not a fan of mechanical fuel pumps,
It'll work for now.
we'll get some grease for our fuel pump drive rod, and just to prevent that thing from
Getting all jammed up.
locking up inside the engine case. Now we've got
They're all ready for the fuel pump, huh?
Yep.
I mean, who knows? Maybe if the mechanical fuel pump runs good, I might keep it.
Now we can put that cylinder shroud back in.
Yeah. So do that and then do this.
Yes.
Now we have the tins on and the oil cooler, huh?
Alright.
So what's next?
Yeah, we can put the fan shroud in place.
Yeah, pincher.
So let's grab some 4 screws, just temporarily, to hold in our alternator backing plate.
Do we put that in after that?
And we can put that in now, but we have to put on the gasket at the bottom, and then we can tighten that up.
Oh yeah, this thing, huh?
Yeah.
Do you put the gasket cinch on this stuff too?
No, metal plates don't have gaskets. Can you remember which way that goes in?
It goes in pointing. Oh, it's C's, right?
And which way did they point?
That way, right?
Yep. C's pointing down. Put that gasket in first,
Okay.
just so we can make sure it's right. There we go, thank you. And then 4 washers, 4 nuts, 1,470 inch.
Okay, 170.
Another part courtesy of Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. I have a factory German alternator stand.
It's just.
Nathan didn't want to clean it up and use it, so
Yeah.
he's like, "You have one from Kyle." I'm like, "All right, fine, be that way."
It's a brand new one.
It's
Semi-new.
brand used.
Yeah. You said it already?
Yep. I'll never unset it because I'm going to be doing this. Check that torque spec on that. Ooh, that's super tight. So,
Make it super tight.
there we go. All right, do that one. All right. And the last one.
Yeah.
From here, we can kind of just go.
If it's not
All right.
flying off, then it should be good.
Probably about the last thing we can do now is
Okay.
the stock oil filler is probably one of the best oil fillers merely because it works so good for excess crankcase ventilation. So before we ever hook that up, let's
Yeah, like just at least.
get it started by hand, make sure everything's keyed in.
And is there a torque on this thing or just tight?
Good and tight. You work straight in. Hold on. And camera is too hot. And powering up. Well, why don't you cool off, camera? All right. How's she feel? Good and solid.
Tight enough?
Good and tight enough.
I think we don't have any oil in the
I also
engine.
did that one too.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, these guys we just kind of
Yeah, just
hang out for now. That guy will go in there eventually, but we have to pull the fan shroud off the back to do that, to put the intake in. But we'll get there. From here, we can do exhaust. Let's get our 4 exhaust gaskets on.
oh, yeah, huh. No gasket signature or anything because they're metal, right?
Nope, these are sample gaskets, no need. And I don't have my favorite exhaust nuts for now, but these will do the job. It's not on there for a long time, it's just on there for a good time. Alright, so you got those and those.
Wait. Oh no, this is backwards, right? Oh yeah, like that, huh?
Yep, maybe.
Yeah.
Alright, these things are fun because everything's kind of got to
Slide into each other.
slide in and around. Let's get this guy hung out first.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's cool.
I got mine, you got yours?
Almost. Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Alright,
Yeah.
washers, nylocks, even though they're going to melt out, but you can do the front, I'll do the back. I don't have, or do I? Actually, let me double check. I might have some lock nuts in here.
Well, Dad, does the
Are
exhaust...
you taking those off?
What?
Are you taking those
No,
off?
I'm putting them on.
Take them off.
Oh.
I got 4 copies of it. Much better.
Are we gonna have 8? Or no?
I've only got 4 right now. We'll use what we got. I'll grab some more when I'm at work, along with the rest of the stuff we need to grab, because obviously we ain't got all the parts we need. All the parts your bug will ever need, JBugs. Alright, also these are going to be on to
What?
14-foot minnows.
Oh, Dad.
For what?
What do we do with those if we don't have the heater boxes?
We get
and
block-offs
stuff?
for them.
Oh yeah, so like just come
So we
on.
need to go through and make certain that we have a list of everything that we need.
Yeah, huh. So what's it supposed to be set to?
14-foot minnows,
Yeah.
8mm stud.
Can I do it?
Let me just get this first one. Alright, get the rest of them. And then when you get to the back ones, because these are 13s, you got to switch over to a 13. And those bottom ones are tight. Boom! All that goes
It
per
looks like an excessive amount of exhaust for a flat 4, but yeah. So it's basically just a 4-into-1, huh?
It's exactly a 4-into-1. There's no basic about it. It is.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Into uno.
So it should sound pretty good then, huh?
All right, dude. Now we can go through and make a checklist.
Of what we don't have, huh?
Yep.
Oopsie. We don't have the alternator.
Alternator.
I think we should have a coil.
We have a strap. We definitely need an alternator. We've got an alternator. We've got a pulley. We've got a nut. We've got shims. Okay, I'm sorry. We have an alternator pulley. Yeah. We have alternator shims, nut, spacer, and all that stuff there. We've got the fan and all that stuff for there, literally. So the only thing we need here is the alternator. Also, we need an alternator belt. We need a fuel pump, fuel hose, and fuel filter.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need a carburetor, air cleaner.
Yeah.
Breather hose.
Well, I want a stock-looking air cleaner.
The stock is oil bath.
What?
We don't have oil bath air cleaners.
Well,
you just got the little chrome ones with the little mesh.
Yeah, like that. Needs to go upside down, right?
Yeah, because it's oil-filled coils. Let me go through my list now. We're back for a little bit of work, try to get some of this stuff buttoned up. I don't have a whole lot of time tonight or the next couple of nights, but we're gonna do what we can, when we can, while we can.
Yeah.
So I think tonight we'll work on getting our intake manifold in place. Up to here, possibly get our alternator in place, which honestly at that point we might as well pull off the fan shroud. We got these 2 screws right here on the sides and that one on the back. If you want to loosen those guys up, we will probably swap those out to the nuts to make it a little bit easier later. So now, we're going to be very cautious around that.
Yeah, because you can't really do everything on with this big towel in there, huh?
We've got our gaskets in place. End casting. Let's put that on the right way. End casting.
Might help, huh?
Let's put on some boots with some clamps. All right, let's get our bolts on there. We've got special bolts for.
Oh yeah, these ones?
Yep.
Did you already get 2 for yourself?
I got 4 total.
And choose. Oh yeah, the star tool, right.
It's just a 12 point.
So that means that we need a 12 point, right?
Yeah.
Does that just make it harder for people to steal it?
No, it just makes it easier to get a socket into it. Because it's got more clearance around the edges. Oddly enough, the only one I have so far is a 1/2 inch. So you might have to use a box end wrench. Let's get this intake manifold centered up. Not fully snug yet.
Line it straight up? Huh.
More or less, yes. Alright, let's get our heat risers in place.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Alright, you want to get a 10mm wrench and socket or whatnot. We got these 2 heat riser bolts.
Socket in wrench or?
Whatever. We got 2 10mm to tighten. We got one on top and one on the bottom. Whether you use a ratchet, an extension, or whatnot.
I'm just gonna say that's 11.
Maybe you're right. I don't know, because these are empty. Yep, that 11 they are. My bad. See a little bit more of what we're doing here. Sorry. Guess we can put the fuel pump on. Grab some grease. Bottom of our fuel pump flange.
Because that's always important, huh?
Yeah, and those 13mm nuts and washers. There you go.
Thank you.
I'll wipe the grease off my hands. These should be torqued to 14 foot-pounds, but they're a little bit tight because of the angles and the dangles. Yeah.
It's gonna be a bit different.
So guess what? Don't have the crow's feet yet.
Yeah. Yeah, wrench should work just fine, huh?
One of those things where you just kind of get a feel for it.
You're like, getting tight, huh?
No, the arrow, fuel comes in the top and out the bottom.
Which, of course, that also reminds me that we still have to flush out the
Fuel line in the chassis,
fuel.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tighten up this bolt for our intake manifold. 14 foot-pounds. Click, click. Good and tight.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
All right.
And yeah. What else did we have to put on before we
can
put the
do-
finish on them? Oh yeah.
That's about it.
Alternator.
Yeah, the alternator. Our new alternator.
Yay, not generator, so it's better.
It's not generating, so it's alternating.
Alternative. Cover up.
Make sure that we don't lose the keyway. There we go.
So what goes in between the alternator and these plates?
Air. And I do have the original, well, these are actually out of my sandrail, thermostat flap. We're going to soak these in vinegar and get them all cleaned up, and then we will get these installed once we actually do the final install for this engine. We got some testing to do in the meantime.
Yeah, because
this is all for mock-up.
Yeah, just for testing and getting it running, huh?
Yep. We're not painting everything and making it all pretty the first time out.
Yeah.
I remember people were horribly upset on my Super Beetle. There's a vent here at the bottom. You want this hole at the bottom, and if you have a hole, that also goes to the bottom. This is so that air can be drawn through here. Air goes in there, through here, and out here to cool the alternator down.
Yeah, because you don't want it to get really hot, huh? I mean, same thing with the generator, huh?
Yep, like so. So all that stuff's at the top, and that's at the bottom.
Let me just loosely tighten it for now.
No, just tightly tight.
Yeah, I know, just so I'm trying to get this one off first.
Okay.
Then tighten this one.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, now this one.
All right, good. Now, the fun part is determining how many, if any, spacers we need on the back side. Now, this actually had a couple spacers in here prior.
Because
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna need a couple spacers. 2, I could have sworn there was 3 before, but we'll try 2 and see how she does.
Yeah, I think there was 3, actually. Yeah,
We're gonna need one more at least. On top of the pulley right there, just grab one more.
He's probably throwing it off.
Once that's tight, it should be good.
Or that excessively jumped down, huh? That sounds right.
Beautiful. Perfect. 3 shims just like it was originally. Hold the fan.
I think it's tight enough.
Should be good and tight.
Yeah, huh.
Make sure.
I feel air. That's good.
That's
it's
good.
Working.
No wobble. Good German fan, that's what you get. Test number 2 is, does it scrape inside the engine? Not a peep.
Yeah, you got it.
Alright, hit it up.
Alternator. Still kind of.
And we'll figure it out in a second.
Okay, let me hold that up. That sounds good.
That's better. Alright.
I mean, it is pretty darn heavy.
Yep.
And when there's not something holding it in.
We'll drop that around the fan shroud. Make sure you got that bolt on the outside of that slot. Is yours in?
Yeah. Is it?
That's there. In our groove there. Hold on, let me check our engine tin up front. Nope, we're out of. Make sure that there.
Oh, this is a bit up. Listen to that.
Spinning. No noises.
All I hear is like
Air.
a slight whine. Like.
Now we'll get our strap in place.
Oh no, I found it. Yeah, this is looking way better now, huh?
Could have put this on beforehand.
The sweet sound of nothing. There you go.
Stop blocking the camera's view here. There we go. Give me a JBugs screwdriver.
Useful, huh? Oh yeah, close to that. That's what.
And still silent
And look.
as a mouse. Before we get anything else in here, I guess let's get that carburetor in.
Oh yeah, the carburetor.
Carburetor.
At which point we can put the air filter.
I wish I had plugs for these because we don't need that stupid solenoid. So this is an idle solenoid. It just shuts off a port in there so that when your ignition's shut off, it disables that. Ideally, I'd like to plug these. We're going to disable it by going like this. Disabled.
Pin shop the car.
Now this port is blocked off. No longer an issue. Let me grab me an all 16ths.
All 16s?
That'll be an adjustment wrench.
Oh yeah.
All 16ths.
Yeah, I want to blink there for a second. I'm tired.
All right. All right, we've only got a few minutes left before we got to go, but
Yeah, I mean, we could mount the carburetor and stuff.
we're going to work on it. Yep.
Yeah, air filter too, because that's like one of my favorite things.
I'm going to go, actually before we do anything, we're going to make sure that everything here is in a position where we can't drop it into the intake before we pull that paper off.
Yeah, huh?
Go like so. And what size are these? Probably 13s.
Yeah, it looks like it, huh?
These might be 12s. And you know what? If they are, probably one of my few ratchets that actually works well as far as my wrenches go, my ratchet wrenches.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's handy. Hopefully,
Yeah,
as long as we can get in there.
Yeah, because at work on the 67, that was a pain in the butt, huh? Wait. Oh, what is this for?
That is a breather that connects to our breather port over there.
Oh yeah. Huh. So does it really matter where that is, or does it have to be in a certain spot?
Ideally, I like to run them in the back.
Yeah.
First things first. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
We gotta tighten these bolts.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get a ratchet on the back one, but we can try.
Don't seem like it.
Nope. All right.
Oh.
Worth a shot. Hose that you seem to be so concerned about.
I'm not sure if this works really well either.
Well,
Yeah, it works. Never mind.
let me screw it there. And we'll trim that down. Of course, we also got to get our spark plug wires through there, so maybe I'll do that preemptively.
That's tight. This is looking so good now.
All right, plan accordingly for that. That'll work.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Just means that now we need to put the clamp in.
Yep, that will work. That tucked right up there. And that should be right about there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick that guy in there. Hold that. Like so. Alright.
Like, it
tighten that
probably
back
should
down.
be running, like, probably Wednesday maybe, huh?
We might be able to if we had all the electronics and everything else.
Which don't we?
No, we don't. I'm just gonna finish bolting this thing on, and then we gotta call it a night. Alright guys, we're back again. We're gonna try and finish getting everything mocked up, ready to go on this engine. A couple basic things really quick.
Yeah, like just the pulley, wires, distributor.
Fuel line. Now the carburetors do take a little bit larger fuel hose, and this fuel hose is a little bit larger than I would normally like to run on these fuel pumps, but it will work as long as you use a clamp. I've got this old spring style clamp left over from a motorcycle at one point, so that fits well. Awesome. That goes on there, good. So we've got that. Let's get those spark plug wires out of the way. Speaking of spark plug wires, I brought in some wire clips. Can you get them in or no?
Probably not. I
The
mean,
bottom
it's
one.
not in it.
And right here.
Oh, yeah. Probably not.
Yes, thank you. See if you can get the outside one.
Nope. Seem a bit stiff, huh?
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
Yeah, so it doesn't come out, huh?
Yeah. Arrow indicates travel. Looks like we're going that way. You get it or no?
No.
Let's just leave that hanging for now.
Yeah.
Oil pressure switch. Thread that in and tighten that down. Doesn't have to be super crazy tight, but it does have to be tight. You got that one in. No problemo.
Got one.
That spark plug in. Apparently you can just take a 3/8 drive, stick it inside, and the spark plug wires out of the way.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And just like that, that pops in easily.
That's cool. Almost there, huh?
Are you?
Looks like it.
It doesn't have to be all the way tight. It's just when it's tight, it's tight. It doesn't have to be threaded all the way bottomed out. It's just when it's tight, it's tight. That's tight.
Okay.
All right.
So are
Shoes
these
on the
two
bottom?
shorter than the other ones?
Are these two what's?
Shorter. The fork hook. Right.
Yep. Stick one in there, stick one in there. They seem like. Actually, it doesn't matter anyway because I bought some 90-degree boots and fittings and spark plug wire crimps so that I can put on 90-degree terminal ends because it just looks silly when you have all your wires pointing up like this
Yeah.
when they're going that way. Why don't you slide on that back pulley half there?
Almost got it.
What are you doing?
It's the back side, right?
If it's the back side, which way should the pulley be facing?
That's a good point.
There we go. Keyway. Oh, funny how that works. Hold on, hold on. No matter what you do, you want to have at least 10 shims. We got 1, 2, 10, 11. Since this is a new belt, we're going to assume that it's kind of tight. So we're going to go with, we'll go 8 on the inside, and we'll go 3 on the outside. Hold on, dude. This is not a race.
Oh, yeah, put that
You probably want a belt on.
That's true. Yeah.
Now that, followed by those, and that. And our flywheel lock is still on, yes. I do have our flywheel on, but I want to go back and reset that now that I got a proper set of calipers. All right, tighten that down. Might want to come down a little bit.
We have a belt tensioner or something, right? Or is this just...
That's what the shims are for, dude.
Yeah.
All right, before it gets too tight, is it tight? Tight, snug? All right, stop. If our belt is too loose, which it is, pull that off. We'll pull some of the shims off the inside. This will stop that from turning, so if you go that way a little bit. Stop. All right, now put that in there. Put that around, take the shims out, and put them in the other way. I'm going to start putting our distributor in. Our clamp. Get it set in place.
How nice of Volkswagen to have a nice shelf right there, huh?
Yeah. Now the Petronics distributors do come with an O-ring on them. I like original style German O-rings, so I swap them out whenever possible. And these are definitely going to be tight the first time around. We'll bring our distributor in, we'll pull off our cap. And new O-rings are always so tight when they're going in. Yeah, you're not squared up on there somehow. Okay, make certain that we're keyed properly on that, which we are. Now throw, well, hold on, let's make sure the belt's on all the way. Because it wasn't for a second. All right, now throw your shims on. Make sure that the shims are all in place before you put on your washer, or your spacer rather, and the nut. All right, now tighten down the nut, and hopefully that time
it will work.
It should be good to go. New O-rings, that took us. We don't want to beat on the distributor shaft. We want to beat on the distributor body. I don't even want to beat on it, but I need to beat on it.
Just beat it.
There we go.
That's tight now. That's really tight.
That should be good.
Yeah.
All right. Dust shield and our rotor and the distributor vacuum can out the front somewhere. Number 1 would be out over there.
So that should hopefully be tuned right, or
Number 1.
do we have to tune it once it's
We
running?
still have to time it.
Yeah, time it once it's running.
That's 1, 4, 3, 2, or if you were to go backwards, 1,
2, 3, 4.
2. Make sure that we push all the boots all the way in.
Yeah, this is 3, huh? Which is top, right? Yeah, top.
And
3 top, 4.
4 bottom. Now you see why I want to get 90-degree fittings for these spark plug wires. Because these things just stick all the way up there like crazy and they just look silly.
Yeah, I mean, looking silly does not prevent it from running, but yeah.
Also correct.
And then this one, which is going to go like that somehow, huh?
Yep, but first things first. Yeah, this is our negative side. This is our positive side. Are you positive? Yes, I am positive. Why? Because I actually wrote positive on it and negative on it, so I would be able to see. Vacuum line to our, actually for now, until we get it tuned and timed, that can stay off. Last wire for our coil
Is
right there. Coil wire.
I mean, you still have other wires there, right? Well, for the coil, we need the...
When we actually go to run it, we'll need more wires, but for now,
Oh, yeah, for now.
we're just about there. The only thing left I can see that we need to do is some fan shroud plugs. They come with regular sheet metal screws, but I find self-tapping screws are just so much easier to deal with. There we go.
Yeah, boom.
Good enough, good enough. We're that close. Like I said, we still have to set the end plate
Yeah.
properly.
Which is the clutch, right?
No, we gotta pull the flywheel off.
And
So
end
I
plate?
can reset the end plate. I don't trust plastic calipers, so I had bolted on the flywheel,
And
but
check it.
I couldn't get an accurate measurement with
Plastic thing?
plastic calipers on my shims that I have lying around here as far as my micrometers. So I'm gonna pull it off, even though this was actually torqued.
Look at that clutch, huh?
Yeah.
Is that a brand new one, or?
Yeah, that was brand new out of the sand rail. Setting our end plate. No seal, no shims. We'll put on our flywheel. And you want to grab the 36mm clamp that is tight, not torqued. Does not have to be torqued.
Yeah, I'm strong enough to push it or pull it.
Well, actually, pull off the alternator belt. 0. 64 and 0. 64. So 64 thousandths of end play, which is honestly a lot, but this is an aftermarket flywheel.
So
Camera is too hot.
That's why.
I don't know why you're so hot.
I know, it's not even that hot. Apparently they're not used to Arizona.
Alright, now that we've put our cameras in the freezer so to cool them down.
Yeah, because it's only 80.
It's not that hot, but these GoPros just run hot.
Like probably an air-cooled Volkswagen without the picture.
Yep. Alright, so we still have 64 thousandths. This is a used block. It's also an aftermarket flywheel that I know nothing about as far as the manufacturer. So I normally wouldn't run more than 4 shims max. I'll show you what math we're doing. So we have 0.064 inches of play times 25.4 equals 1.625. Now the max end play from Volkswagen is 0.13 mils. So we'll minus 0.13 equals 1.4956 worth of shims. 1.4, 1.5. This is a used shim stack as well, so 149. So we've got 1.5 mil worth of shims. We're going to go stick this in the engine. Hold on, actually I can't do that. I got to pull this off. We've got our shims in. Flywheel seal installer tool. There we go.
Oh yeah, because unless we have a battery, we can't start it.
Alright, you got the flywheel?
Mm-hmm.
Slap it on.
Yeah, right there. Boom. Tighten it up. And is
Right there.
there a certain tightness that is, or just tighten?
There it is. Now let's see. Yep, I can hear it, but I can't see it, which is exactly what we're looking for when it comes to end play. You want to hear it, you just don't want to see it. And there we go. We got about 4 thousandths of play.
Which is good, huh?
Perfect. That's what we're looking
Because
for.
Volkswagen said what?
3 to 5 thousandths basically is what we're looking for, and that's what we got.
What does it mean?
All right, and we want 225 foot-pounds, and this thing was divided by 9. Hold on, let's do some more math. So we got 235 divided by 9. So it's 26 foot-pounds, 26.1. 26.1 times 12. 315 inch-pounds of torque on an 11 millimeter. 315 inch-pounds, remember that?
315.
Quickly, come on. I gotta roll. I got to be out of here in like 9 minutes.
Down, up and around. Almost everything.
There we are. Boom.
Right.
Torqued.
All good and tight.
All right, let's spray down that flywheel again. Sure to grease your pilot bearing inside the gland nut. We'll put in our alignment tool.
Yeah.
Follow that with our pressure plate. There we go. All right, get your 6 bolts.
Boom, look at that. Basically fully assembled engine now, huh?
Yeah, buddy. We have essentially a turnkey engine at this point. Just add gas and electricity.
Yeah, gas, electricity.
Oh, you gotta tighten your fan belt.
Oh yeah, that too. Gas, electricity, and tighten the fan.
And tighten the fan belt. Semantics.
Yeah, just the some things.
We'll get that timing set.
Once it's running.
Once We're ready to rock and roll and ready to run.
Probably, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah. Spin it around 360, keep going. Because you gotta get that belt centered on there. Sorry for this overly long video. That was a whole bunch of nights packed into one. Sorry for the lack of a proper outro. We ran out of time. But it's all worth it because she's a runner.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in our next video. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching. And life's full of good people. If you can't find one, be one. Later, guys.